If you just started a business, you probably already have a brand name, you probably already did your research, and you love this brand name that you have, whether it's for your product or for your services. I'm going to walk you through exactly what you need to do in order to own your brand name legally. My name is Carmel, and I'm a trademark attorney, and I'm going to break it all down in this video. A lot of our clients start off telling us that they have an LLC or they have a corporation and that they are already registered with their state. And while that's great because it protects and it separates your business from your personal liabilities, it does not protect your brand name. In order to own your brand name or any brand identifier like a logo or a slogan, anything that identifies your brand, you have to file for a trademark. And filing for a trademark is not filling out a piece of paper and sending it off with money. It is a whole process because it's not as simple as just having a brand name that you want and then registering it. In fact, so many of our clients come to us after they've already filed for their own trademark, and once it gets rejected, which most of the time it does, and I'll explain why later, but when that happens, they have to onboard a trademark attorney to do what's called a trademark takeover, where we take over their trademark and, try to get that trademark registration certificate for them because it is more like a legal proceeding and less of an application. So they end up spending all this money and that money not getting refunded because the USPTO rejects the application. And then they have to hire an attorney that costs even more money to hire us for us to, take over the application essentially. So the best way to do it, step number one, is to have an attorney already starting out filing your application for you because trademark attorneys know exactly what they're doing before and after they file an application. So step number one is to do what's called a comprehensive search. This is what we do with all of our clients' trademarks. We make sure that there's nothing in the system that's confusingly similar. That's the legal standard. There can't be anything that's confusingly similar already in the USPTO with that brand name in the related goods and services category. I know that's a lot, but basically there can't be anything that rhymes with it, looks like it, translates. It is a huge, broad scope. And so when we do this comprehensive search, we prepare a memo, we do a whole analysis with the client. There's a lot of strategy involved in drafting the application in a way to where we know, okay, it is 99% likely going to get accepted rather than just submitting an application and crossing our fingers. And once we prepare that application and it's strategically prepared, we send it off and it goes to the USPTO where it will get assigned to a trademark examiner. They are also attorneys on the other side, and their job is to decide whether or not they're going to accept or reject your application. If they accept it, great. There's a couple other steps that happen after that, but that's if they accept it. If they reject your application, then the next procedure is to respond to that rejection, wherein we come in and we defend the application. This is very common. We're not scared of rejected applications because we're so used to fighting them all day, every day. We fight it by preparing a legal brief with our arguments on why we believe our client should have this trademark registration. And that legal brief is supported with a bunch of case law. We do a lot of legal research. We know all the arguments and we submit it. The trademark examiner then can decide if they want to accept those arguments or reject those arguments. If they accept it, great. If they don't, then we appeal it. And this is when it goes to the appeals. Right now, we have a ton of trademarks that we're appealing. It's something that we do all the time. Trademark attorneys, we do this all day, every day. And I wish more people knew about the entire process. And I wish there was a lot more content and education on the fact that it is just not an application that you fill out and send off with money. The whole process is an investment. So my advice is if you're not 100% on your brand name, or, if you're someone who's kind of still deciding how they want to go about it, my advice would be to just hold off and then hire an attorney to make sure that they do it all for you. It's hands off for you. And that way, you know that it's being done correctly without wasting all this money on getting a rejected application and then having to spend even more money to have an attorney to fight it with a legal brief. And if you've been in business, let's say you have a clothing line or you have a service that you offer and you have a course name that you really want to protect and you would be really upset, for example, let's say if somebody else takes it, then that means you really need a trademark. And I've just opened some time slots so you guys can book a call and we can go over everything specific for your brand name. And if you're ready to get started, we will do the entire process for you. Obviously, we will get on the phone and we will strategize with you as well. Or you can just save this video for when you're ready to get started. I'll talk to you soon.